Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LocksOTD podcast. This is episode number 17. I'm back here with Andrew and Zach, and we're going to go over our recap last week on which NFL Thanksgiving Thursday. We went 4-1 plus 7 units for you guys. So it was a good old happy Thanksgiving for the LocksOTD community. Then for the Sunday NFL podcast picks, we went 2-1 plus 3.3 units. So a total of 10.3 units for NFL podcast picks last week. And mind you, we also had an NHL sweep as well for another plus 5.1 units on the podcast, which now brings us to plus 88.65 units total this NFL season. Like I always say, a lot of them are from TD props. That's why you should be following us on Instagram at LocksOTD. We give out all of our picks there. Today, we are, of course, going to lock you in with college basketball, NBA, and NHL premium locks. And then, of course, Thursday night football with the Packers versus the Lions picks before we transition into the NFL Sunday locks. So let's get into the quick recap for the Thanksgiving Thursday NFL slate, which was 4-1 plus 7 units, like I said. We had a 3-star, the Lions plus 1.5 and under 53.5 at a minus 155, which cashed. The Lions won 23-20. We also had a 3-star Cowboys -3, minus 140. That cashed. They won 27-20. Then we also had a 3-star Dolphins money line plus 150. Tried taking a little plus. They lost 30-17. Only L of the day, though. It's okay. Then right on to the 2-star. We had Rico Dowdle over 69.5 rushing yards plus 100. He had 112 rushing yards with a touchdown. So that cashed with ease. Almost at halftime, I believe. Then the last 2-star, Devon Achane, anytime touchdown, minus 105. You can cash that. He had a reception touchdown. So right there, 4-1 plus 7 units. We just smacked on Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving once again. And now we'll roll into the recap for NFL Sunday. And Andrew, you can kick it off with your 3-star.
Yep, we got a dub real quick. Had the Steelers. Quick little 44 points on the Bengals. That's the weakest point right there for the Bengals is their defense and Steelers. I didn't think they were gonna put a 44 on them, but they did. So we'll take that dub. It was a plus 132. So easy money, easy money.
Easy
But
money. We'll
once
roll that
again,
right into.
kids got the script. Kids got the script. I'm telling you. If you listened last week, you know what I said. Lock it in. And in the last game of the season, the Bengals will make the playoffs and win. Just lock it in.
Love it. Remember that was said. That's all I'll say. Zach, what was your 2-star on Sunday?
We had Bucks and Panthers over 46, and we cashed that. In overtime, we pushed at the end of regulation. Bucks went on to win 26-23. And kind of like I said, almost similar. We said both these teams are going to start scoring. I said, don't be surprised if the Panthers win that game, and they had it. Palm of their hands. They had it. And my guy Chubba Hubbard fumbled,
Yep.
threw it
Happens,
away.
happens.
But we locked in the over 46, 49 points. So another win.
Absolutely. At a minus 115, so great little line. And like you said, Panthers, it was a good call. They really had a legit chance to win. Like I actually thought they were going to win that game at one point when they had the ball in overtime, of course. Whatever. So my 2-star, which was the one loss on Sunday, was Vikings -3 at a minus 130. And they won 23-22. So they only won by 1. We needed them by 3 for at least a push. L. Still plus 3.3 units on that slate. And like I said, plus 10.3 units NFL podcast last week. So let's stay hot, fellas. Let's roll into it. Today, we'll give you the college basketball picks right now. So, fellas, get it going.
Yep. 3-star today will be Radford, the smaller D1 school. Their money line minus 150. They're playing North Carolina Central University. Radford 7-2 playing on the road against this NCCU team that is 3-6. Don't be fooled by their two of their wins though. They're against two Division II teams and they just happened like 2 weeks, like a week ago. Basically, those are free wins for any college D1 team. If you look at how NCCU plays D1 teams, they average scoring 72 points, but they let up 81 points. Terrible defense on small schools. But if you look on ESPN, they kind of fool you here because they add in those numbers from the D2 games where they put up 131 points. So it says that they average 81 and they only let up 72. Completely false. But then looking at Radford, their two losses come against ranked Pitt team and a Clemson team who's 8-1 and they just beat a 4 ranked Kentucky. So if we take out those Clemson and Pitt games for Radford and look at their stats, they score 82 points a game and they only give up 65 points a game. And that's against the same size, smaller D1 schools that are in their conferences. So personally, I think Radford's a fucking lock. Their defense will be way too hard to get through for NCU or NCCU, where the fuck they are, North Carolina Central. So I don't see NCU, whatever, putting up a bunch of shots. Lock Radford in money line, -150, 3 star. Bang, bang, bang.
Our two starts tonight, we got Cal Poly's money line at +115 going out to the Big West for this conference championship game, or conference championship game, conference conference game. Sorry, not championship game, but conference game. Playing UC Davis. In this game, you have Cal Poly, who is scoring at an extremely high rate. They're coming in, they're 5-4 right now. UC Davis is 3-5, and they're playing very well with the transfers that they've got coming in. You know, Cal Poly was 4-29 last year. They came in with a new head coach, three new transfers from their old D2 school, Colorado Mesa, and they're already 5-4. They've competed really well against some bigger schools. They have a win over at AC school or ACC school. They beat Stanford. They competed well against Cal. They almost beat Arizona State, and they competed really well against St. Mary's. UC Davis has kind of struggled so far this year. Some of the good teams that they've played, they just haven't been able to keep up with them. They also lost to Stanford by 15 points. And in this game, I mean, UC Davis is putting up 70, but they're letting up 77, and Cal Poly is scoring over 83 points a game. I just don't think UC Davis is going to be able to stop Cal Poly's offense, especially after losing their best player last year, Elijah Pepper. So I think the wrong team is favored in this game, and that's why we like a little plus. So it's going to be Cal Poly 2 star at +115.
Beautiful. So there's your college basketball slate right there. And since we're already on basketball, might as well roll right into the NBA. So fellas, lock them in with that one too.
Yeah. So for our 3 star, we've got Spurs and Bulls under 236.5 at a -115. Both these teams are going to have key players out. The Bulls are going to have Kobe White out, and they're also going to have Patrick Williams. The big one in this one is that Wembanyama is going to be out for the Spurs. When Wembanyama is normally out, the pace of play of the Spurs drops. They are towards the bottom of the league. They like to set up their offense and let Chris Paul run the show. The Spurs are also a top 10 team defensively in the NBA, and they rank in the bottom 15 in offenses. They rank around 16 or 17. As for the Bulls, well, Bulls are pretty shit. They rank in the bottom 10 in points. They rank in the bottom 10 in defense. By that, I mean they are number 30 in defense, but they have been struggling to score a lot. In this game, I think what you're going to see a lot of is a lot of Zach LaVine and Nikola Vucevic shots. And with a lot of shots comes a lot of misses. And I think you're going to see a lot of time wasted by the Spurs. And I think the big stat I like here is that the under is hitting in 68% of Spurs home games so far this season, which is what I do like to see. When these teams come in, they don't shoot as well, and the Spurs are holding them to about a 37 to 38% field goal percentage from the field. So I think the line here is just set too high, and I think you get some good value at -236.5 and a -115. And that's our 3 star. We're gonna flip the page here. We gotcha. We're still locked in. Our 2 star is going to be Alperen Sengun, over 10.5 rebounds at a -130. And he's hit 10 rebounds in 9 of his last 12 games. He's going up against the Warriors team tonight that the Warriors really haven't had a true center in quite a while. It's going to be Kevon Looney and Trace Jackson Davis. I think the big thing that I liked here, and we're going to keep this one pretty simple, is that the Warriors are they pretty much a top six or top seven team, depending on the tie, when it comes to giving up rebounds to centers. And that's a big one because that shows you that whoever they're playing, their center is dominating on the boards. And Sengun is a guy who is probably the main center on the Rockets, who is right now almost averaging 11 rebounds a game. So this is going to be a big game for him. And don't be surprised if he flirts with a little triple double tonight. He's just a +500. So maybe you give him a little sprinkle. We'll see. But we're keeping it simple with the over 10.5 rebounds -130, our 2 star, Mr. Sengun. So
Love it.
Beautiful. That wraps up all the basketball locks for the day. And then we'll go right into the hockey lock. So, Andrew, you want to give them the 3-star, bud?
Yep. 3-star for today will be the Carolina Hurricanes money line. They're also minus 150. They're playing the Colorado Avalanche. Just like last week, this is another one of those East Coast slash West Coast two series matchups, like two games. And Avalanche in their first game in Colorado, they won 6-4. So this time games in Carolina. Uh Hurricanes been on a little bit of a slump. Lost their last three games, but also played the Panthers twice, so it's pretty good. But also starting goalie Pyotr Kochekov, he's been out. Just came back last game against the Kraken. Uh, he let up four. Kraken won. We had Kraken money line that night. 2-star, that was like a plus 230. But when does play and is not injured, he was 10-2 with a 2.45 and a 9 save percentage, which is pretty solid. So when he's in that, Hurricanes are winning. So I'll take the winning side here with Hurricanes minus 150. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I'm not worried about Kochekov last game versus the Kraken. Like you said, we had him plus 230. Like, we had a good feeling Kraken were
That
winning
was
that
his
game.
first game back from injury.
First game back.
Yeah.
Relax. All right. Like, I'd rather take the stats that show more games. Those are the true stats, not one game. Did you have something, Zach?
I'll say don't also be fooled by the Avalanche because they've also lost three of their last five, and it really should have been four. They were losing 4-0 2 days ago, and just honestly just had a kind of like a lucky comeback just playing the Sabres.
Yeah.
But they'd be losing four of their last five as well. So I
Mhm.
mean, and they're playing one of the best teams in the NHL. So
No, yeah,
the value here is fantastic.
they're a very sloppy defensive team, like 100%. The
Yeah.
Avalanche are not who they were 2 years ago at all.
Gave up 4 goals in the first period versus Sabres. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
But so then I'll roll into the 2-star for NHL. We actually got a little parlay. We have the Islanders money line, which is about a minus 125 to a minus 130, and the Red Wings money line, which is about a plus 150. The parlay comes out to a plus 350 here. We see value, okay? Get the Islanders versus the Kraken and the Red Wings versus the Senators. The Islanders versus the Kraken. The Islanders are 9, 10, and 7. Kraken are 12, 13, and 1. Sorokin will most likely be playing for the Islanders, which is technically their best player, their goaltender. He has a 916 save percentage and a 2.48 goals against average, which is very good. Grubauer will hopefully be playing for the Kraken, who is 1-7 this year. He has an 862 save percentage and a 3.62 goals against average. Terrible. I mean, 1-7 speaks for itself. The Islanders also have Matthew Barzal out still. Not really worried about that when they still have Bo Horvat, Anders Lee, Brock Nelson, goal scorers like Kyle Palmieri. They'll just still get it done here. Kraken won the first matchup as well, like Andrew was saying. So I believe the Islanders split this series to make it 1-1, and they take this one at home. So I love the line, minus 130. You can lock that in the parlay with Sorokin and net. And then for the Red Wings versus the Senators, the Red Wings are 10, 11, and 4. The Senators are 10, 12, and 2. Whether Cam Talbot or Alex Lyon pipes, it really doesn't matter. They each have over a 910 save percentage and under a 2.75 goals against average. So both the goaltenders for the Red Wings are playing exceptional this season, which is, of course, massive for hockey. Meanwhile, both Senators goalies, Linus Ullmark and Anton Forsberg, they're both struggling this year. Neither have a 900 save percentage, so they're just not doing it. And they're both around or over a 3 goals against average mark. Not good. Also for the Red Wings, Lucas Raymond, hot right now. He has 8 points in the last 5 games and 5 goals in the last 5 games. So keep an eye out for him. And this is their first matchup all season, so I just love the Red Wings money line at a plus 150. So you can lock in that 2-star little parlay. Islanders money line, Red Wings money line, plus 350. Bang. So now let's kick it off right into Thursday night football. We got the Packers versus the Lions. Andrew, give them the teaser, kid.
Yep. Teaser for tonight's game. It's gonna be Lions money line and over 40. It's a minus 115 on Fanatics. Lions, they're an absolute wagon right now. They're 11-1. Haven't lost since week 2 against the Bucks. Bucks were plus 300 that week, if you're wondering. Yeah, we smacked that, of course. But the over 40 should be easy with two of the top offenses in the league. Lions, second most productive offense, and Packers are the third most, just in yards gained. But where I see a lot of points coming from is from the air, passing yards. Both these teams do struggle against the against the pass, I guess. Lions give up on average 225 yards through the air, and the Packers give up a little over 215. But obviously, both teams do have very good run games, so it's like you don't really know what you're gonna see when teams line up. I mean, you could toss Gibbs and Montgomery back there, you got no clue what's gonna happen. Like you just have no idea what the hell is gonna happen. Boom, 70-yard play touchdown. You just have no idea. That's who they are. And then you got Josh Jacobs in the backfield for the Packers. That dude's been going crazy this year. So, and their wide receivers look good. Jalen Reed's been going off. I love the over, love the Lions. Lions are just going to continue to keep smacking. Uh, both QBs going to be slinging it all night. Minus 115. Pretty good parlay odds right there for an over under that is brought down 11 points. So lock that
Love it.
in. Lions money line over 40.
There you go. Lions money line over 40, minus 115. That's the 3-star of the night. Then we're going to roll into the 2-star. I was searching a little while for this one. Was looking for some great value and some of the best value to bring you guys, of course. So with this one, you have to. I only found this one on ESPN and FanDuel. You have to obviously go to game specials and all that, and it's just one of the special props that they offer. So the 2-star is going to be from Green Bay. Jaden Reed, 25 plus receiving yards in each half. 300 on ESPN, which is insane. And then if you're going to take it on FanDuel, it's only a plus 220. So if you can take it on ESPN, definitely take it on ESPN. Detroit defense, like you said, gives up 226.8 passing yards per game, which ranks 25th in the league. Jordan Love can, of course, sling the rock. And Romeo Doubs, their other wide receiver one, he's out with a concussion. Jaden Reed is the definition of a playmaker. You guys know how much I love Jaden Reed. He was my sleeper and gem of the year. Dude got 2 touchdowns last week on like 3 catches. He just touches the ball. Anything can happen. If the ball is in his hands, he can score under any circumstance in any situation. He is that talented. I love him. 25 yards every 2 quarters could simply be 1 catch in each half for him. Like he already averages almost 16 yards per catch this season. So mathematically, that's just him catching 1 ball per quarter. He also averages 63.4 yards per game with Jordan Love at QB this season. And don't forget, like I said, their other wide receiver one, Dobbs, is out this game. So Reed is going to be there. He's going to be getting thrown to. He's open. And lastly, the game will have offense clearly with a high over-under of 50 plus. So plus 300 for Jaden Reed to get 25 plus reception yards in each half. Yeah, we'll take that at a 2-star. Thank you very much. So there you go. You get the 3-star Lions money line over 40, minus 115, and the Jaden Reed prop at the 2-star. So let's stay hot with that. Let's sweep on Thursday night, and let's roll right into Sunday, kids. What do you got?
Yep. So 3-star on Sunday will be the Arizona Cardinals. Their money line minus 145. They're playing the Seahawks at home in Arizona. Divisional game, and these teams have already played each other once. Seattle won that game 16-6. This game, I do not see Seattle holding them to 6 again. Seattle's defense isn't really that any special. They give up, I think, 22 a game. So it doesn't really, it's not good when, I mean, giving up 6 points there, I think they're gonna come home to Arizona, and I think Arizona's just gonna pound them. Like in this little split series match, that's what happens in these games. They like to split. And you look at the standings. What's going on in those standings? Uh-oh, it's a little tight. So if they split these 2 games, it'll make the NFC West division just that much tighter. A win here for Arizona will make that I think that make that division completely even. Oh no,
Yep.
I think the Rams are at the bottom. I think they're like 5-7 or something like that. I
Yeah,
think they're
but
like
it'll
the only
tie
team
the
that's like a little bit
Cardinals.
out.
Seahawks will be tight. I mean, that division, keep an eye on it. They're going to
Dude,
keep that thing tight. We've had our
tight.
eyes on that division for weeks.
Dude,
Like,
that's what I'm
they
saying.
love keeping that division tight. Oh, one team takes a 1 or 2 game lead. Now they start losing. The other teams come back
Yeah.
up. Like, that thing keeps fluctuating. So
That's
you
how
keep
the
an eye on that.
NFL, that's how the NFL is going to want it too throughout the whole season. So everything's entertaining. They want everything tight. Mr. Goodell said that a couple of years ago. He wants the entire schedule to be nice and tight all the way through the end. Everyone's
It's an
record.
entertainment business. Be
Yes,
entertained.
absolutely. So that's why I like the Cardinals here. I think they lost last week by one, so a nice little bounce back game here at home against a divisional opponent again. Lock it in -145.
Love it. And then so I'll roll into the other 3-star for Sunday. For the Carolina Panthers, we have Adam Thielen, 40 plus receiving yards at a -130 versus the Eagles. Thielen has been back for 2 full games now from injury. In those 2 games, he's racked up 11 receptions, 14 targets, and 156 yards. He's played 5 games this season, and he's gotten 40 plus yards in 4 out of the 5. So 80% of the time he's cashing. He's averaged 53 yards per game when he actually plays this season. And he's also averaging 14 yards per catch this year. Bryce Young just finally started cooking it up the past few weeks for the first time in his career. He seems to be getting comfy back there in the pocket, and he's averaging 280 and a half passing yards per game since becoming the starter again, which is absurd. He's obviously not that good. He's not going to keep that up forever, but that's still insane. So we'll take them while they're hot. And Thielen is his most reliable wide receiver, no debate, and he clearly trusts him if he threw the ball to him 10 times last game alone. So for the Panthers, Adam Thielen, 40 plus receiving yards at a -130. Yeah, that's a 3-star. Zach, what do you have for the 2-star, kid?
So similar to what we had last week, we are going with Raiders and Bucks over 46 at a -115. This is going to be one of those games where almost very similar of last week. The Raiders offense hasn't been extremely good this year, but Aiden O'Connell comes in against the Chiefs and provides them a spark that they need. Don't be fooled by the 17 points that they scored against Kansas City, as they missed 3 field goals in that game, including them fumbling inside the 30 at the end of the game and also going for it inside the 30 at one point in the game and not getting it as well. I think Aiden O'Connell provided that spark that they need, and I believe that this Raiders team plays better when O'Connell is in at quarterback. I think the big thing, kind of like I mentioned last week as well, the Bucks defense is 28th in the NFL, and they struggle heavily against the pass. So I think this Raiders run game, if Alexander Madison is able to play, if not, it's going to be one of the 2 other running backs that they have. They've had a lot of injuries as well. But if it's going to be O'Connell slinging it through the air, I think you're going to have a shootout. I think the Bucks are going to come into this in the same way. They're in a must-win game. They're 6-6. They have to stay atop of their division, and this is a game that they can't lose playing a 2-10 team. And like I said last week, that's a game where the Bucks should win it pretty easily. But I said don't be surprised if the Panthers win. It's gonna be the same thing again. The Bucks should win this game, but don't be surprised if the Raiders come out and give these guys another tough game and come out and win this game, because they are going to make it close and they're going to give the Bucks everything they got with a brand new looking offense. And obviously, the Raiders defense has been quite literally dog shit all year. The tough way to sum it. I mean, I can't really use any other words. I mean, that team can't stop a football from going down their own side of the field. So, but yeah, same number pretty much as last week's. We got the over 46 at a -115, and it's a 2-star. So
Beautiful. And then for the last 2-star of NFL Sunday, we're going in the Chargers and Chiefs game. We have the Chargers, a little teaser, Chargers plus 10.5 and the under 51.5 at a -150 on FanDuel, on DraftKings -160. The Chargers have found a new identity with Jim Harbaugh as their coach, plain and simple. They're actually playing for something now, and you can tell. Justin Herbert is finally free, and he can play his brand of football without terrible plays being called constantly for him and just setting him up for failure every game. They were always winning or not winning, always coming close to winning, and then just finding a way to lose like the Browns do. And that was the Chargers the past few years. But like I said, Harbaugh brought a whole new thing to the Chargers, and here we go. New team ramped up. Last time these two played, the Chiefs won 17-10. And the Chargers are averaging 21.7 points per game, while the Chiefs are averaging 24.1 points per game this season, which comes out to about 46 points. Yet, the Chargers have only given up 15.7 points per game, which ranks first in the entire league. So they are number 1 in the league for least points against per game. Meanwhile, the Chiefs have given up 19.6 points per game, which ranks 8th. So they're both top 10 for least points per game against, which is why I like the alternative under of 51.5 here. And the Chiefs have already clinched a playoff spot. Meanwhile, the Chargers are fighting to stay in a playoff spot. It's not like the Chiefs aren't going to come out hot and trying. Like, of course they are. They're trying to get the number one seed. They're trying to win a Super Bowl, three-peat. But the Chargers, like, it's almost life or death these last few games for them. They lose a couple of these, their season's going to be over. So they need to win, or at least, I mean, well, they do need to win, but keeping it within 10.5, especially when the Chiefs aren't the best at winning games by a lot, never mind 10 plus in a divisional matchup. So yeah, for the 2-star, we'll take the Chargers plus 10.5, under 51.5 at a minus 150, and that wraps up NFL Sunday. You boys got anything else?
Nope.
No, all set. Beautiful. So that wraps up podcast number 17. Thank you for tuning in to the LocksOTD podcast, and we will see you next Thursday. Get those locks in. Peace.